the fourth level in the game. This is sort of a change of chapter in the story, because for the first 3 levels you are running away from the Trade Federation. On this level, you get an opportunity to rescue somebody that potentially is going to ally to your cause. So really, this is in a way the beginning of a new chapter where you're gathering together allies rather than running away from the Trade Federation. And Don Silkey was the level designer for this level, and he can give you some background information of how maybe this level evolved and changed.
Right, originally you're just supposed to be heading off into the mountains looking for the smuggler that you were informed was sort of camped out up towards the mountains. You come along shortly after finding more people that are under attack, and you're trying to do what you can to help rescue them in your search. Most of the planet, of course, is being decimated by the Trade Federation, but you have this strange desire to, of course, help, even though it may be somewhat fruitless.
What about this? The first area is you can give people a little player tip of if people haven't already discovered it.
Oh, the first homestead that you come to that you've asked your captain to help protect. If you do finally save the homestead, the person that lives in the house will go to his garage and get his speeder. If you happen to rescue the speeder and follow the speeder to his other farming area, then that's where you will get a power-up.
Yeah, he basically activates his little garage door opener, opens the gate for you to get your power-up. Of course, if you're seeing this cheat, you've probably already figured out every single power-up in the entire game. So, but if you haven't, check it out. It's kind of a cool little event. Yeah, I mentioned it in the last level that both sound and music help give an atmosphere to the game. We have with us Chris Holzbeck, and he designed a lot of the original music. Obviously, we tried to recreate a lot of the John Williams music, and it was Chris's responsibility to do that, but he also created a lot of original pieces. Chris, do you want to maybe talk a little bit about the music here?
Yeah, well, I specifically chose level 4 because that was one of the levels where I really composed my own tracks to the action. And there are about 4 or 5 pieces in the level, and they all are based on kind of the same theme or something. There's for example, if you meet the ally, the smuggler, the music changes, and but still retains the feel of the first track that you hear when you come into the level for the first time. But it has a specific theme for the smuggler that comes in then. And there's also a lot of interactivity going on when you enter an area where you have to fight, for example, at that homestead. Then the music changes and things like that to make the soundtrack a little bit more exciting.
There's some little Easter eggs on this level. If you haven't noticed, we actually have the pico birds flying around, just to try to give the atmosphere. This is a very lush planet, and you can, if you wanted to, you could actually even shoot down those birds. Sometimes the Trade Federation, early on, early on we had a bug where all the different characters either were enemy or friendly. We had no civilian, so the scraps that were flying around on the roadway would actually shoot down the birds, and you actually see this big ball of flame come flying down and hit the ground. It was pretty nasty. Poor little innocent birds just getting shot out of the sky. It's the only game with flaming birds. Everything has to blow up.
I'm sure players are now going to try and shoot down birds.